Welcome back to another episode of Founder Files. This one's going to be fucking special, without a shadow of a doubt. So this one I've been quite excited for. Those who don't watch, this is a real raw view into the lives of founders, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people who are just fucking trying to do it on their own, which is a lot harder than most people think. Our guest today is literally feels like I've known him all my life for about two weeks.
Isn't that lovely?
A fellow ex-vet with twice as many tattoos. Richy Thrower, welcome, mate.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
All right.
Nice one for having us on.
Oh, mate, I've been excited.
Appreciate it. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. So tell the world, tell about yourself, I guess. Start with like, who is Richy Thrower?
What do you want to know?
All of it.
Okay. Well, I don't think we can disclose all that. No, I'm joking.
So where are you from? Where are you from? And I guess if we start at the end and work backwards, so your business, because this is about Founder Files. So
yeah,
time to shine, baby.
Get in. So I have a marketing company called Most Focus Media. We mainly specialise in video production, which is the main thing that people come to.
And it is the dog's bollocks, by.
Nice one. You heard it here first. So we deal in video production, paid ads, organic socials, and then anything else really is nothing is not done in house. And we just focus on them because them three things work hand in hand together. And it's a nice little powerhouse when you've got somebody who's used all them. Whether it's to promote your business, brand, whether you want to grow on social media, whatever it is you want to do. So I've also got part in a whiskey business, Joyce's Irish Whiskey. I run a membership platform called Peak Potential. And then I want to get into property next year. So it's just constantly doing. I get bored too easily. So just always looking to.
But I saw something the other day about Gary Vee on about it. Like a true entrepreneur is just someone that's like, look at what he's got: wine business, consultancy, social media. I suppose it's not wrong. It doesn't take for other people to give me a feeling of to sort of verify my own my own personality, I guess. But
yeah,
it is what an entrepreneur is, right?
Yeah, of course. And it's like, I think we get bored too easily. Like, my idea of hell is sat there doing one thing, but being bored. I'm never bored. I'm never ever bored. I'm always busy.
I can't imagine you are.
No. But it, and especially and I really struggle when, even Christmas time, and I know it sounds bad, but when you have, say you have a week off work, I sit there scratching my head after day one thinking, it's nice because you're spending a lot of time with the family and stuff like that. But having nothing to do is my idea of hell.
Yeah, agreed.
And I hate it.
So could you sit on the beach?
No. We go, me and the wife are complete polar opposites.
Yep.
In the sense of, we go on a holiday, she will quite happily sit on a sound lounger all day and just sunbathe.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm always going out.
I can't anyway, I'm ginger, so I just like...
Well, there is that, real world problems. I'll give you some fake tan after this. I'm not wearing fake tan, by the way. I went on a 10-minute holiday on the sunbeds and just...
But it's done well.
In Spain.
I'm going to have one after this. Definitely have one.
You'll burst into flames.
All these Tom, just put one of the memes up you can find, like the ginger kids on the internet, they get burned. So you don't sit still, I guess. So I want to wind the clock back. So my interest in doing this has come from just liking to chat to people, understand stories. We share a similar start in adult life. We were both boy soldiers, right? Yeah.
So I went ATR Winchester at 16. And the whole reason for that.
What's your number?
30109159.
Way out, right? 25121972. Sprog.
No bag.
Sprog.
What regiment?
Royal Engineers.
Oh, you can't take the mick out of me.
Mate, you're really me.
No.
What were you?
Swear. I was infantry. I was Freemason.
Oh.
You remp.
Here we go. But how many? I forget my 4-digit pin for my bank. I forget my mum's birthday. That fucking 8-digit number is ingrained in my life.
Yeah. Because you have to say it 1,000,001 times a day.
Trying to march in and get paid and no, get out.
Do you ever walk down the road and try and walk in the same step as people that walk in front
all the time? No, I don't. I used to do it the other way.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok it. So ATR Winchester, how old were you?
16.
Fine.
16, so went straight out of school. And the reason being was I did horrendous at school. Did absolutely horrific.
Because you weren't bothered or interested, or
I was
or you just dull?
I was just a nightmare in the sense that I didn't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
I went to Brian Lee's in Nantwich, which for academic, I went to Coppenhall first, but I had to leave there. But we won't go into that.
Not even gonna ask.
But then went to like a really academic, posh school in Nantwich. And for
You
academic
went to a
kids-
posh school.
I know.
That's probably why they asked you to leave.
Exactly. So I went to Brian Lee's, and for academic kids and that, phenomenal. Loads of opportunities for people, but there was nothing creative. There was nothing, do you know what I mean? Sat down in algebra, can't even spell algebra, and I hated it. Like, I was threatening to jump out the window because she wouldn't let me out the door.
How high was the window?
It was on the second floor.
Oh, good. Okay, but first floor. She's like, go on, jump.
But, like, nothing. And again, it's that whole thing of, like, I couldn't sit still.
Yep.
And sat listening to someone talk about something that, even at that age, I knew I was never ever going to use because it didn't interest me. I always wanted to do something that I wanted to do. I was always into music, I was always into bikes, cars, and stuff like that. Yeah. And I could never go down the sort of engineering route because I didn't get the GCSEs, so like they wouldn't let you do certain classes for like engineering stuff in school. Yeah. So even though I could rebuild a two-stroke engine at the age of 13, 14, and they weren't bothered about what you could do. It was always bothered about, well, what's on the piece of paper.
There wasn't a great deal of application to real life, was there, back in the day?
Nothing.
I don't think.
Nothing like.
It's come along.
Yeah.
It's quite one dimension if we think about what you were taught. It's like,
you
need to learn this. RE?
RE.
What is that?
Well, so I got suspended from school. This is a funny story, this. So I got suspended from school. So my RE teacher and my science teacher were the same person. Right? So we had science this is gospel. We had science first.
Yeah.
And he was telling us about evolution, about how we came from monkeys. And then, I'm shit you not, in the next lesson, he was talking about Adam and Eve and how we've all come from Adam and Eve. And I sat there and went, mate, you're a fucking hypocrite. And he went, what do you mean? I was like, we've just been telling me an hour ago that we came from monkeys. And now you're telling me that it was two people under a tree. Like, which one was it? And I got suspended for that.
You love that.
But like,
you've single-handedly undone the education system at 14.
But it's a genuine question, isn't it? Like, and I was always confronting
You're an atheist
people.
then, I guess.
Yeah, I believe in my legs and legs believe in me, like
that.
But like,
I'm good. I reckon karma's what I believe in.
Yeah, 100%.
Be good to people.
Yeah, 100%.
I can be a bit of a twat, but
and it's like, French. Like, you sat in French. I hate French.
Je m'appelle David.
Don't you start now. But I sat in French, same thing. Sat there and go, why am I sat here for 2 hours? Like a double period. Like, why am I sat here doing something that I don't want to do? And they were all genuine questions. Like, and I've never been to France. I never want to go to France. Why am I sat, 4 hours of my week learning something that I'm never going to use?
Yeah, agreed. So 16 then? What made you join the army?
My dad basically said, if you don't go, you're out.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I was always very excited. And he always thought it would be a good way to channel the energy.
And how do you look back on that?
Yeah, I'm glad he did.
I am glad he did. Time, it was fucking hard. I was such a little tosser. Like, I was like Johnny Ten Men. I was about as big as that fucking stick. And I had ginger curtains and fucking spots. The first time I got slapped, I was like, oh God, this is the real world. It taught me loads. And I think it's given me a moral compass that like I'm quite...
It taught me everything about like respect and discipline that I needed to learn to then go into the real world. But because I was very much
and be productive.
Yeah, 100%. And the best thing I ever took away from the army, and still to this day I really struggle. When you're in the army, no matter how shit the situation was, no matter how shit the job was, it always had to be done 110% as fast as you can on the time that you're meant to do it. You come out into Pacific Street with that attitude and everyone's like, well, nah, it can run till tomorrow. And you're like, well, no, it fucking can't.
My
it needs
first,
to be done.
Chris Lifehack, we're watching this. I reference this all the time, yeah. We went to sell health and safety on a phone for the British Safety Council, telesales it was, Birmingham. First one-to-one. It's one of the only valuable one-to-ones I've ever had, or one of few. Where do you want to get to? I was like, fuck, I want your job. He's like, what? And rather than saying anything like, you won't get it, he's like, right, what newspaper do you read? I was like, fuck off. What do you mean news? This at the time, I'm like, he's like, shut up and answer the question. What radio station? I was like, are you on drugs? So in a 1-to-1. Basically, his point was, million miles an hour, super. So it's when I got into Myers-Briggs, colours, insights, all the rest of it about trying to understand myself. I think it was 96% red, which is objection oriented, which is exactly what you're talking about. Shit or bust, we've got to get the job done. Doesn't matter if some snowflake's getting fucking offended because he doesn't like the language we used to get him to that.
Yeah.
But in the normal world, and of course I couldn't understand that you could have a job and not actually know how to do your job, and then someone's got to help you do your job, like alien to me.
Yeah.
And one of the single-handed things he says, he's like, was identified that approach, what we hold valuable, of like, who do you want? I want the guy that's fucking shit or bust. He might be in a fucking bad mood. Might be shit. What's he doing on his worst day?
Yeah.
Is he still there? Which which I'm certainly always going to be that guy. I hold that more valuable than having a little fit. But that was the start of me realising that what was a trait that clearly got you and I very far and did well and thrived, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a fucking huge problem for me for the first 2 years of my life out here.
Still now, for me, I really struggled to take people on.
Yeah.
Because it's that attitude of you feel like almost people don't care. Because
and you invest quite a bit. You feel like you invest in.
Yeah,
But
massively.
then is that our problem? I've reframed it and thought, right, that's a me problem, is it?
It's not a problem though. I think it's just you've got high standards.
Yeah. But it becomes a problem for me when I get a feeling of like, fucking hell.
You've wasted 40 grand on employing people. I should fucking useless.
That hurts. So what, how long did you serve?
Just short of 5 years, I believe it was. So did Herrick 14, did 19, come back, and then my best mate died. Well, so I come back.
I saw this on the thing. He was going to come to this because we both raced, didn't we? I think we must share a motocross community here somewhere.
Yeah. So Matt raced Makos.
Who was it, Matt
Murphy.
Oh no, name
He crashed at Tamworth. That was what killed him.
Yeah.
But we basically, I came back from Afghan. I think it was first weekend at home. Went to racing. Now, Matt went. So the night before, there was a rave on in Chester, so we all went there, and I got really messy. I'll completely agree. And then everyone came banging at my door the next morning to go racing, and I couldn't wake up. So woke up at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and my best mate rang me and was like, "Matt's get to Birmingham Hospital now. Matt's come off, and it's bad." And I was like, "All right, okay. What's going on?" And he just put the phone down. So we raced to Birmingham Hospital. Cut a long story short, they ended up turning life support machine off in the morning. But we were all there at night, and while I was there at night, I rang my platoon sergeant and was like, "Listen, I'm in," because I was meant to be in a course on the Monday and this was on the Sunday. And I said, "My best mate's literally on death's door. They're turning life support machine off. I am in no fit state to go to Warminster." Like, and he just went, "It's not your immediate family. Get to your fucking course tomorrow." Poof, and just buttoned me.
Standard.
So that happened. I rang my sergeant major the next morning and I said, "He's said this, that, and the other. Like, my best mate's died." And he went, "Listen," he said, "if you come back," because I was in Germany at the time, "if you come back, you're probably not going to get to your mate's funeral. So if you stay home for your mate's funeral, come back. I'm not going to have a fallout with you over it. I completely understand, but we'll deal with it when you get back." So I got back, walking across a parade square, and the guy who I'd spoke to on the phone, who said it's not your immediate family, get to your course, he come over to me and started shouting. He was like, "Oh, was it really worth it, was it? Did you say bye to your mate? Rah, 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 you're going to fucking jail now." So I just seen red. Nearly killed him. But that's...
Yeah.
So... completely lost it, and ever since then just went on a complete warpath with the army.
Yeah.
So after that, went to Colchester, and they basically just...
Oh, he's done some time in Collie. Collie's not easy, is it?
It was I was there for 5 days, and they kicked me out of Colchester. I got taken out of Colchester because it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was on a warpath, like, and the way I saw it, I suppose, was I've dedicated all this time to you. You know, done 2 tours, done all these things, like, you know, risk myself and risk my own life and stuff like that, doing mad stuff. And then I've asked, the first thing I've ever asked for, you've just thrown an egg in my face.
Yeah.
So I just went completely lunatic on a warpath.
So then, so you were out straight after that?
Straight after that.
And then what?
So then, because we're done, and it'd be interesting to see what you did. So, because I'd done junior entry, I'd never had a normal job. So I come out, and I think I was 21. I didn't have a clue what to do.
Yeah, I was running.
I had no clue.
Didn't know what P45 was. I thought HR, man.
I thought it was cream. Do you know what I mean? Like
HR was. I thought it was human resources. I was like, so they what, like farm people? I was like, fuck, who was it? Eddie Rowley. He's still a good friend of mine. We used to we're in Digbeth.
Yeah.
That telesales job.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the fuck I got the job. I went straight on a machine for Hawk. I was at Worcester Rugby Club on a 320 grading 40 mil with some bloke done 40 years. I'm shit on a digger, and just thought. Getting up at 5 in the morning, on site for 7. It's February. I'm fucking cold, snowing. I'm like,
feels like you're in Brecon again.
what the fuck? Yeah, no sight of like a 6-week AT break at any point.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, what have I really got out for? So I remember going. I had to lie about having a dose to get off on site. Fucking site manager's not going to do it. So I told him I got a dose. Like, go on, lad, get yourself away. I'm like, this is fucking not for me. This place.
No.
Drove to Birmingham in the van. Got on had my bigger boots and that, got changed in the back of the van with this little suit. I remember going in and I got like concrete dust all down the shoulder because I'd like got changed the van. I had an interview with what was a recruitment agency. I remember going on like Google, I think, trying to close, like what happens with closing, going like, she was talking, I ain't got a fucking clue what she's on about. I was just like, I'll just do it. You know, well, like, I'll do anything. And at the end I went, so am I like, what more do you need to learn about me? To give yourself a position for me to get the job. And she was like, I was like, I've got this wrong, haven't I? She's like, yeah, you're in a recruitment centre. I was like, I don't know what's that?
It's mad you say that. So I did more or less the same thing. Like, so
she didn't have a clue.
You know, Bowie's in Nantwich.
No.
So it's a big industrial place. So I did the same thing because I was asking everyone like, what do I do? How do I get a job? Like, what do I have to do? And they would just went, well, just go to a job agency. I was like, all right, sound. So I literally got suited and booted to go to a job agency, and people were in there like tracksuits and trainers, like filling forms in. And I was like, "Oh, am I in the right place?" And like, "Yeah. Why have you come dressed like that?" I was like, "Because it's smart and it's a job interview." No, it's you just fill this in.
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, this is easy." So I filled that in, and they're like, "All right, we've got some work for you tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, brilliant! That's ace." So
what was it?
Went to Bowie's, and it was like unloading containers.
Yeah, just an A4 list every day of like words. I was on the doing telesales, and Eddie was like walking back to the train station. He'll be watching this, and he'd literally like just like, how the fuck have you got a job?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just fucking winging it.
Yeah.
And then within 10 years, I was commercial director at Monster Energy.
Unbelievable. Fuck off.
But it was out of a sheer desire of, I think I just outwork people, I think.
Exactly. Like,
outwork people.
And it's the same sort of trait. And everyone you speak to, I think, who has ever done anything good or is successful or whatever they're doing, it's always just, it's all a game to me. Like, I'll always try and go one more or, and I've always been like in every job since. And, I'm not a lunatic out by any standards anymore or anything like that. But like, I'm a lot calmer now. But like, even because I went into security, when I came out, I ended up going into security, doing the doors, guard, and then just went supervisor, manager, general manager, ops director. And like, even when I was a supervisor, people would be sat in the directors' meetings upstairs, and people would be like, "Oh right, how many and I'd been like off for a week on holiday. "Oh, how many appraisals have you done this week?" Rich was like, 1. I've been off on holiday. And he's like, "Oh well," and thought he was dead good. He was like, "I've done 4," and I was like, "Sound. I'll come in on the weekend, and I'll get 10 done." And the owner of the company was like, "Well, you're not getting paid for that if you do." I was like, "I don't care, just to look at his face on Monday morning."
So what was this doing?
So I was started off as doing the doors and security guard.
Yeah. Where?
Alpha Omega in Crewe.
Right.
And then went into, within a year, started working in the office as supervisor, and then just went manager.
For what? For doorman?
Yeah. So we used to do all sorts. So they had like 300 sites across the UK at the time.
Got you.
So we did.
And he was doing what? One-to-ones? Was it appraisals?
Yeah. So all supervisors, managers had to go out and do all the appraisals for all the guards.
Oh, fine.
On sites and stuff like that.
Well done him.
Huh?
Well done him.
I know, yeah. I know. But there was always another lesson to be learned there. But like, even that, I then came in unpaid over the weekend, did 10 appraisals, and then Monday morning just went, Not fucking so funny now, are you?
But so, how long were you there then? What made you?
I was there for a long old time, like, and it was a horrible place to work in the sense of how you were treated as people,
Right.
but it was madness all the time, and I just loved it because it was just chaotic all the time. Like it was ran just a really stupid way. So like you did like transport for the guards, and you did all these things that were like completely backwards, but it had just created a beast. Do you know what I mean? So there was 3 managers, 3 supervisors, and a general manager on one at a time. Like, so you had all these people who were just running around like headless chickens, and I just loved going in and just going, "You go and do this, you go and do that, and we'll get it sorted."
Yeah. But is that so? What they free? And how does this work then? Guards for what? Just local area, like
everything. So like factory stuff, gatehouses.
How many people do they have?
Like 900 odd guards at once.
Is that one guards?
Yeah, guards.
What I really
like they call them like security officers. Do you know what I mean? Guards.
Yeah. Army 16, 5 years left.
Yeah.
Some guard stuff.
Just say security.
Guarded things. And then you into management.
Yeah.
Then what?
Got to general manager at Alpha Omega, and then I got a really good opportunity to come up for a company in Runcorn. It was called Select Security. They're no longer there. I got approached to say, well, do you want to come over to us, general manager, and we'll pay you, 10 grand more or whatever it was. I was like, yeah, sweet. That's a lot of money. So then went to work for them, and then cut a very long story short, they ended up being money laundering, drug trafficking, people killing companies. Like, it was mental. So they went bump. A lot of Liverpool gangsters came into the office, started knocking 7 bells of shite out of the MD. It was mental.
Go on. So the MD's been beaten up?
Yeah, so then they got bought out by Frankton now. Frankton were like a next level, and it was ace, and I liked it because the guy who owned it was an ex-Marine.
Yeah.
On the board of directors, you had John Almond, who was the brig of the SAS. His dad was Gentleman Jim, who started the SAS. You had James Hart, who was a City of London police superintendent. Like, it was nuts. Completely different to like a security company based in Crewe. Do you know what I mean? Like, we used to go for the directors meeting at the Special Forces Club in London at Knightsbridge. Like, it was mental. I was just, but I was in my element then, because I thought, oh wow, everyone here is like ex-forces and stuff. It was mint. But the problem was, and like going back to Alpha, no matter how shite it was, everything was done. When I went to Frankton and they bought out Select, you still had all the people at Select who were involved in all the money laundering stuff, all the dodgy stuff. So nobody did any work. Like, very, very quickly, I became public enemy number 1 because stuff had happened, and I'd be like, where's everyone going? Like, we've got 6 shifts to cover. People haven't turned up for work. There's still people on site that have just done 12 hours. Like, we need to get them covered. And like the MD was like, oh, well, I'm going to go and get my nails done. And nobody was asked. Do you know what I mean? So I just had a massive fallout of everyone. And then it got to the point where I was just super paranoid, like leave my work phone on the side, and like, because it was all open office, so I'd leave my phone on record on like voice notes because people were trying to shaft us and make us look bad and stuff. And I picked it all up on my phone. Luckily it did that because it got me out of loads of stuff. But we had all that, and then it just got to a point where I have literally never been so unhappy in my whole entire life. Like, I was on 100 odd grand a year, the company car, Amex card, absolutely everything that I thought was everything.
What you wanted.
Yeah. But it was just toxic. Like, hated it. And I'd go into work. Like, I'd say to, it's mad now when you look back. Like, I'd say to the missus in the morning, like, probably going to kill someone today. And like, we're just like, ha ha, like, she'd have a laugh and laugh it off. And like, but in my head, I was like, could happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely like believe what you said. Like, it was I've never like mentally been so like broken down in my life because you just couldn't trust anyone.
Yeah, that's the horrible bit.
And it was.
So then, what'd you do?
So while I was doing that, I used to race bikes. So I did supermoto at the time. So all this happened totally by accident. So used to race bikes, and at one of the rounds at Teesside, my bike locked up and spat me off.
Yeah.
So I blew the engine up, and I couldn't get it fixed for the next round. So I said to the club owner, I was like, I'm sure my sister's got like a little camera at home. There's no promotion or anything like behind this. What if we do like a little bit of a video to put on YouTube, and we'll just see
what year was this? This has been early on.
September 2021.
Yeah. Not too long ago then.
Yeah. So did that, did the video, edited it, put it on YouTube. It got like 11,000 plays in a week from like a fresh YouTube channel. First video I ever put on. But it brought like $6,000 into the club for like spectator fees, entries and stuff like that. So the guy who owned the club was like, Rich, I want you to do one of them for every single round. I was like, well, I want to ride my bike. My bike will be fixed for the next round. So he's like, well, I'll give you $6,000. So give me $6,000 to do them for the rest of the year. These little highlights.
Yeah.
And then just the rest is history.
That's where it started.
And yeah, within 3-4 months, I was doing these little highlights videos for like BSB, World Superbikes, went Navarra in Spain, Mini Motor Championship, did like all the major championships in the UK.
Yeah.
Wanted all these little highlights videos that we were doing because we're all working.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, all these little mad things that went on in the world. So I was still working with the security stuff, luckily. And then when all that came, COVID went and stuff, just kept doing the motorsport stuff then. And then it just got to the point where it was just like, again, that tank of like being unhappy was just full to the brim and spilling out. So I'd...
doing where are you now? So you've started your business Motion, doing the shoot.
Yeah. So that was just on the side while I was doing all the security stuff. So like... I'd go and work like Monday to Friday with security
shoot
stuff,
weekends,
and then shoot all weekends, and then I'd just do all the editing at night through the week,
like a proper side hustle.
Yeah. But then loads and loads of money started coming in from the video stuff, and I was like, bloody hell, I'm in some coin here, like.
Time.
Yeah. And then I was going to Spain with BSB to do all the stuff to testing, and I sat at Manchester Airport. Completely normal day, and I had the Friday off work, and I had an email from HR, the security company, saying, can we have a performance review on Monday? And she hated me anyway, so I knew it wasn't that. It was like me going, oh, she's got something there that she believes is going to get me in trouble. So I literally just sent an email back saying, do you know what, love? You've got your wish. I quit. Immediate effect. Done. Never ever coming back.
And what's that? Had been 3 years ago now. 4 or 4.
Yeah. No. That was not last March. The March before.
So you're 2 years in.
Yeah.
And walk everyone through now? But what sort of scale you up? What things you're doing?
So we've done music.
You were in a hold on. What was it? Rise of the Foot Soldier.
Yeah. So we're in that next week.
Video and is it Pat? He's the main actor.
Yeah. Craig.
Craig? How's that come about?
Instagram, mate.
You love it. You do a lot of outreach on there.
Yeah, and people I think you meet, and I'm not slagging anyone marketing off. That's done it for a long time. But I think, when you speak to, and I'm sure you've had this, like you speak to people that have, been in marketing maybe 20, 30 years or, always been in that sort of like corporate side of everything. It's overcomplicated to death. Like it's strategy this, strategy that, strategy this. Like I need to go for a piss. I need a strategy. Like just go out there and get it. Like it's not, people like so many people have said, how did you get that Rise of the Foot Soldier gig? All I did was message Nick Nevin on Instagram. He replied straight away and went, we're doing the premiere for the remaster.
So what did you, so tell the people, what did you, let's get some tangible stuff out of this.
Go on.
How would you approach it? So I agree, mate, we make stuff happen, but what would you, so some people say, how am I going to write to him? He's not going to write back.
Yeah.
I think if you provide value to someone or of an interest, that's the secret. Like,
yeah.
So what was that first message?
I literally said, I'll get it up. We'll get it up in real time. I met Nick very briefly at one of the nights, right?
Who's Nick?
Nick Nevin is the director of the new film, director of the older film.
Fine.
So I've literally, and this is word for word, real time now. This is the only message I sent to him. So in short, I own a media marketing company in Cheshire, but do most of the videography myself. I do all the Tom stuff, and like a mutual friend, and I'm always looking for new clients. What I did for Tom And I'd like to do the same to you. To prove how good of a service you'd get, I'd like to offer you a day of filming plus the edits, completely free of charge. It will not cost you a penny, and you'll get loads of amazing content, whether it's an event you're going to or just a mess about for a day. I'd love to work with you. And if you do like what you get out of the day, we can sort out prices, etc., to go over anything else that you want. Plus, I'm a huge fan of all the films. I promise you, I'll knock it out as fast as possible. You will receive stuff the next day. So you can see the quality and the efficiency. Let me know if you're interested. Boom. Straight back. Cheers, bro. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I'll get you to do the premiere for the new film. First message you sent back. Boom.
Done it.
And I did it.
So what if we break it down what people have done? You've offered value.
Yeah.
I think people don't. If you can't give away your service or business,
yeah,
you're never going to fucking sell it.
The thing I always say, right, is people struggle to turn down stuff that's free.
Yeah.
And this is where I will always back myself and say, not that you're the best at what you do, but I'll give it a bloody good go. Do you know what I mean? So I'll always say if I really, really want to work with someone or a client or potential client, I will say, if I can't knock on the door to get them to a meeting or something like that, I'll just ping them a message on social and just go, listen, really, really want to work with you. I don't normally do this, but can I offer you a free day of filming with the edits? It's not going to cost you a penny. You get loads of stuff out of it. If you like it and you want some more in the future,
flat out,
give us a shout. Now, if you go to someone and do that and you do something that like blows their head off, it's very hard for someone not to have that again or to go backwards and have something that's not as good.
100%.
So if you turn up and do a really, really good job, they can't not use that. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed. Especially online work. So I think offering value is the first one. What if you had to give 2 or 3 points of what you've currently done that have been important to scale where you've got to in 2 years, other than offering value and backing yourself? What they call
Efficiency.
Efficiency.
That's always the biggest one for me. Like,
what do you mean by that?
Say if we go and film something today, client will have something the next day.
I get it. Yeah, fine.
So
good service.
Yeah, and the reason for that is you go shopping, you go to Asda or wherever it is you shop, you don't pay for it and then get your shopping a week later. So like, it's the same as giving someone a bollocking. If somebody does something wrong, but you wait a week to tell them off, that becomes less effective. The longer you leave it, the less effective it becomes.
Yeah, just provide a good service.
Yeah. So when me and Kirst got married, I had to wait 3.5 months for a wedding video. I won't say who it is.
Why not?
But we had to wait 3.5 months. And then all I did, I rang every single wedding video company in Cheshire and just went, if I got my wedding film with you, how long would I wait? 2 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 4 months. One of them said 6 months. It can be up to 6 months. And I was like, oh my God, what a gap. But I already knew I was knocking out motorsport videos and uploading them to YouTube the next day. So I was like, oh my God, imagine if I could do that, but send people stuff the next day. How much better would that be for people?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to wait 3 months.
So what have you done? What's some of the... So you do motorsport, you've done fucking film premieres.
Yeah. Done a music video for Dizzy Rascal.
Done what?
Yeah.
A music video for Dizzy Rascal.
Totally random. That was literally my mate who rang me. Honestly, I was sat on Crew BMX track. And he said, what are you doing tomorrow? He rang me, he said, what are you doing tomorrow? It's Code from Blackout Crew. He said, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, I don't know, why? He says, right, well, I've got an opportunity. I was like, and nobody else can pull it off. He was like, okay. He's like, Dizzy Rascal is on his way back from Qatar from watching the boxing. Can you do a music video for us tomorrow for like a collab that we've just done with him? And I was like, yeah, where? He was like, well, I'll tell him to come to Crewe because he's flying into Manchester. So I was like, okay, sound. Literally the next day it turned up and we just did it.
Mate, fair. And those are stuff then you can dine out on. So what other stuff you got going on other than the motion stuff? Because you've just taken a share in a whiskey brand?
Yeah, with Dougie, yeah. So I've done stuff with Dougie before. So like, we did quite a lot with the fighting promotion that he's got, the 3D Fight Club.
You sent me some of that stuff.
Yeah, so we did a lot of stuff with the boxing. I've always done quite a bit with like the bare knuckle and boxing stuff and stuff like that. So it all just came from that really. And again, it's just value. Like same, what he said. I've used loads of people before. It's never been so easy. Why would I not ask you to do it? Do you know what I
mean? Yeah. So what's the plan to that?
Replace McGregor's on the shelves.
Proper 12, see you later. Timely.
It's proper gone now, though, isn't it?
But Dougie, I got to meet him with you the other day. He's an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, mate, if you bought him a can of pop from the shop, he'd remember it for the next 10 years of his life.
Yeah,
he's a proper genuine bloke. Yeah, he's a bit wild, but not in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? And people are very quick to judge a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? But is there anything you can tell us about the whiskey stuff then? What's happening? Plans? It's only just been released as you joining the business. Yeah. So there's crates and crates and crates and crates of it at Liverpool. We've just set up the new website. So that's live, joyceirishwhiskey.com. That's live. You can order your bottle now. It's brilliant, it's proper nice stuff.
Quadruple distilled.
I'm still trying to learn this. Cherry cast, double cast. Yeah.
With a hint of...
It's expensive stuff, to make.
I like a whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm like, definitely.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But yeah, and again, it's just something new. The way Dougie approached us was, I want you to come into the business.
I was in the pub with you two.
Yeah.
Great. Also, the owners have got the same surname as me, Hamlet.
Yeah, I was thinking on the way down here.
Fuck, you tagged in. I was like...
and he's ginger.
Yeah. Long lost brother here at fucking Liverpool. When I was in there, to what the videos you churned out, and I think I hadn't even got home and you fucking edited them.
Yeah.
Me. So, mate, absolutely blown away by the work.
Nice one, mate.
But I think it looks... Yeah, if I looked at that setting when you were talking about what you were going to film, I remember leaving thinking, what the fuck can I film here? Fucking shameless. So as we come to close, what would be your top 3 tips?
Yeah.
Sitting here, soldier to pretty successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
With a really broad range of experience.
Yeah.
What would be a couple of things that you could tell someone watching this or tell your younger self?
Do it sooner rather than later.
First one.
Never be scared to talk to people.
Nice.
Confidence is everything.
I'd say that about that. That's half it. Your communication skills on rail.
Yeah. And never leave time between unitask.
Yep.
Because the next 5 minutes will bring its own problems.
Where does that come from?
I think the army.
Yeah, it's got to be, yeah.
I think the army, like
everything we've spoke about and I've heard from you today is about that.
It's all
pride in what
everything's
you do
urgent.
And get it done.
Yeah, everything's
and do it
urgent.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything, I think people, and you see the difference in people, people will go, oh, well, that can wait till tomorrow. To me, everything is urgent. Everything is red, needs to be done now. Do you know what I mean?
Let's go.
Yeah. But you speak to a lot of people, and not many people think like that, but that will then give you the time to go, whether it's outreach, whether it's to learn something. But I think confidence, and if someone message them straight back. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just little things like that. Yeah. And don't be scared to speak to people.
Especially in a world where no one's really doing it. By those simple things you can stand out.
Literally, you speak to so many people. What you said earlier about messaging Nick. One thing you said, and you said, oh, well, I won't message him because he probably don't know. He probably won't message back. How do you know if you don't message him?
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Like that phone call, it's the thought of rejection or the thought of not
getting
done. That can be the bigger problem, actually, just... We've got nothing to lose.
What's the worst thing they can say? No.
Yeah.
Or not message back sound. I'm messaging on
telesales taught me that. So we do 80 calls a day. Probably lucky if we've got 4 yeses a day.
But it's still 4 yeses.
Mate, I was fucking sitting inside and it was warm. I could make a cup of tea when I wanted. Go
yeah.
And you'd get that better than anyone.
Yeah.
Rather than be fucking in a shell scrape colder.
Yeah. Minging. Never again.
Shit,
stop talking about that now. But it just do it. Don't stop thinking about doing it and just overcomplicating things. Just keep it simple, and just if me and you sat here now and messaged 100 people each on Instagram with the same message, you would have 5 leads.
Yep,
easily.
Yep, outreach.
If you're charging $2,000 a time, that's 10 grand.
You can get a VA to do this because we just got one.
Yeah, but it's so that easy. But people won't go, oh bloody hell, I'm going to message 100 people. Well.
You can do it sat on the sofa.
You do it sat on the sofa. You can do it at night where you're watching Netflix, copy and paste the message. You don't even have to do a personalised message.
Shitter.
Yeah.
Easy got 50 messages then.
But yeah, people just make shit excuses.
So where are we finding the businesses before we wrap this up?
Everything's on Google. Then the Motion Focus Media stuff, we're moving to Nance, which hopefully today. Do that. You can find us on Google, socials, message me through my own. Find us everywhere.
You'll definitely reply on Instagram.
100%, straight away.
Mate,
Test me.
Yeah, like now, mate, it's been good having you on. We've got plenty.
This table's massive, isn't it?
Mate, we've definitely got plenty of work to do together. I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I like the stuff you do with the camera. We've already been here. We're already going to upgrade our podcast because you've been here.
Sorry,
this is all expensive. This is all going to get better. But mate, absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
cheers,
nice
buddy.
one, mate. Cheers.